Chloe Johnson with the Play Corner, and today we are interviewing 3 special guests from the Hobbit. We have Gandalf, Thorin, and Bilbo. Oh, hi Bilbo, you are here today. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, my name is Chloe Johnson.
My name is Bilbo.
Yes. Now, I'm going to be asking you 10 questions, and I want you to answer them truthfully. The first question, number 1, is, what was the most terrifying part of your adventure, of your experience that you went on?
The most terrifying part of my adventure was when they were all depending on me, and they were trapped in the dungeons, in the Elven King's dungeons, and I wasn't the one that was trapped.
Well, I can see that's pretty frightening. Number 2 is, what thoughts were running through your head when they asked you to join? Like, what were you thinking? Like, what?
I was really quite frightened when they brought up that we would be fighting a dragon. But when I got a hold of myself and figured out that I would get many precious gems and crystals for my help, if I survived. I seriously considered it and eventually said yes.
Okay, well that's good. Number 3, what were you feeling when Thorin and company just came right into your house and ate most of your food?
I was really frustrated because nobody could tell me what was going on. I was also angry because Gandalf had invited the dwarves without any warning or permission from me.
Alright, well, I understand how frustrating that could be. Now, number 4. Number 4 is, when you met Smaug, how hard was it not to run out of the cave and to just leave him to the dwarves to deal with him?
It was super hard because Smaug was huge and his flames were deadly. When he asked my name, I answered with riddles, and he prayed so that I would not get hurt from his flames or sharp teeth.
I understand. Number 5, how did you develop your riddling skills?
When I was just a small child, I took riddling for amusement. I grew up with them, so I was a natural. I was also very proud of myself because when you see a full-grown dragon, you would usually lose your wits with fear. But I was lucky enough to remember that dragons love riddles, so I flattered Smaug into keeping me alive.
Okay, we have number 6. What caused you to go with Thorin and company in the first place? Like, why would you go? You were afraid and you just randomly went. Why?
Well, it wasn't completely my will. It was mostly the impulse of my Tuka's side of me. My Tookish side of my family. You see, I may be a Baggins, but I'm also a Took. On that day, my Tookish side of me grabbed my mind and made me say yes to the adventure. Anyway, wait.
Alright, number 7. Why did you feel so secure when Gandalf was around? I mean, I understand he's a wizard, but why would you be so secure? Because even wizards can die.
Gandalf is a powerful fellow, and when he is around, he knows so much. When something goes wrong, he always has wisdom and counsel to calm us all down. Make us see a way that we can fix it.
Okay, number 8. Let's see. Please describe your feelings when you were trapped in the Mirkwood Forest with no food or water, and you had all these people to feed, and you had no food and no water.
I was really scared because we were missing Thorin, and we had no food or water. We had no hope or leader, and nothing to protect ourselves but with my dagger sticks and little knives. We also thought that we were at the end of our lives.
Okay, number 9.
That we would die.
Number 9. Regarding your time in the Goblin Tunnels, what were you doing, feeling, and wanting?
I thought that the dwarves would notice that I was gone and would hopefully try to find me within the cursed tunnels. I could not see where I was going because of the darkness, so I felt along the rock walls and tried to find the way out of the cold, dark, dreary mountains.
Now, number 10. How did you stay motivated despite the life-changing experiences? Like, how did you stay motivated throughout that adventure?
I stayed motivated because I wanted to help the dwarves, for they had no home, and I wanted to help get theirs back. And it was hard to stay motivated, and by the end of the adventure, all I wanted was my cozy armchair and a warm fire.
Oh, well, that's all we have for Bilbo today, and thank you for coming. Thank you. Everyone give Bilbo a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Now, okay, see you. And we are back at the Chloe Center. We have another special guest, Thorin Oakenshield, the king under the mountain now. Now, I'm going to ask you 10 questions also. Now, number 1, what were you feeling when Bilbo came and took the Arkenstone and gave it to your enemies? What were you feeling?
I felt betrayed. Over the course of the journey, I'd come to respect him, and it felt like at that point he turned around and kind of threw that in my face, and it really damaged my trust in him.
Oh, well, I understand. Well, number 2, in your fight with the warg/orcs, please describe what you were feeling.
I was frustrated because I knew that the creatures we were fighting were easy enough to kill, but there were enough of them that we couldn't stand and fight, otherwise we just get caught and killed ourselves.
Yes, I suppose that was frustrating. At Baron's house, what were you feeling? And please describe how you were able to trust him.
I didn't really trust Baron at first. He was just very intimidating, very large. I trusted Gandalf that he trusted Beorn, but after the initial standoffishness, after Beorn told us his stories and supplied us with things we need for the journey, I began to trust him a little bit more.
Well, that's good to trust people. Number 4, describe Bilbo Baggins for me. What do you think of him? Before he took the Arkenstone, what did you think of him?
Before he took the Arkenstone, I'd say he was very capable. He's a little withdrawn, but he's very witty, very cunning, and he's got no small measure of luck, which always comes in handy on a journey, on an adventure.
Yes, I suppose that's true. Now, when you met Gandalf, what concerns did you have about working with him in the adventure?
Pardon?
What concerns did you have about working with Gandalf in the adventure?
Well, I wasn't sure if I could trust him, but I was kind of desperate for his help, so I had to take his word that he'd be able to help me.
Well,
And it turned out he brought a lot of good things to the journey.
yeah, that's good. Number 6, why didn't you make a deal with the Elven King to get out of the prison?
I trusted in Bilbo that he would find a way to get us out, so there was no need to make a bargain with him at all.
Okay. Number 7, were you concerned about your companions when you were separated from them in Mirkwood?
I felt a fair amount of concern, but I was also fairly sure that they could handle themselves and get themselves out of whatever scrapes they got into in Mirkwood.
Yeah, that's a really good talent when you have Now, number 8, did you know what you were going to go through when you started from the adventure? adventure when you started it?
I didn't know we'd get caught in the middle of a rock fight between giants, or that we'd be taken by goblins in a cave that we'd assumed was safe. But I did know we'd be fighting a dragon and going through Mirkwood.
Okay, number 9. How did you track down all the other dwarves to help you in the quest to the Lonely Mountain? I mean, it must have been hard. You have so many.
Well, when I asked Gandalf how he'd track all these guys down, he said he has his ways. I find it best not just don't question the wizards.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, now our last question for you today is: when the dragon invaded your mountain for the first time, what were you feeling?
I was furious. That was my home. It's where I'd lived for my entire life, and that lizard just walked in and took everything and didn't even care.
Yeah, I'd expect that would be extremely infuriating, and I was sure that you wanted revenge.
And we got it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Okay, well, thank you for coming. Everyone give him a round of applause. Okay, well, I'll see you later.
Indeed.
They're back again. Well, we have Gandalf this time, Gandalf the Grey, and we have an interview for him too. Say hi to the camera, Gandalf.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh yes, it was our pleasure. Now
How may I help you?
I'm gonna ask you 10 questions, and please answer them.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the first question was, why did you leave Thorin and company at the edge of Mirkwood?
What?
Why did you leave Thorin and company at the edge of Mirkwood?
Oh, I had to deal with very pressing problems that my fellow wizard had found in a fortress that was laid within the forest of Mirkwood. I couldn't tell them where I was going, or else they might try to follow me through, and they would be lost in the forest.
Yeah, they got lost in the forest. Anyway, but
Yes,
yeah.
much worse.
Number 2, why did you think that Bilbo Baggins would qualify for this adventure/quest?
Well, he's a hobbit. I knew he had a great spirit and good courage, like hobbits do. I also knew that he would qualify because he had a Took side of the family. And the dragon isn't accustomed to his smell, and he's remarkably light on his feet.
Well, that's a plus. Number 3, who are the 5 other wizards that are in Middle-earth?
Oh, pardon?
Who are the 5 other wizards?
Oh, the
there's
wizards.
You.
The wizards.
Yes. Who are the 4 other ones?
Yeah, there's only 5 total. So there's Radagast the Brown.
Yeah.
There's myself, Gandalf the Grey.
Okay, that's 2.
Saruman the White.
Okay.
And then there's 2 elven twins whose names I've quite forgotten.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah. Number 4 is, did you know that Lord of Eagles before
this quest?
Yes, before the quest.
Oh, yes. We've had encounters before, but not recently. On that Lonely Mountain adventure, it was good to have him on my side. Eagles are extremely hard to fight, especially when you're on the run.
Yeah, I'd expect it to be. Now, for number 5, when you were outside of Baron's house, why did you send them in two at a time every 5 minutes while telling the story to Beorn?
Well, I wanted to make him interested in the story, and so that he wouldn't really care about all the interruptions, because he would want to know what's going to happen next in the story. See, if they all came in at once, it would be too much.
Yeah.
As Bilbo.
Yeah. Number 6. How did you persuade Bilbo to come with you on the adventure? I mean, he's really reluctant. How did you get him to do that?
Bilbo's a storyteller. I knew he would eventually find a part inside of him that longed to have an adventure worth telling to his grandchildren.
Yeah. Now, what are your thoughts and feelings about Bilbo's reluctancy to go on this adventure with you?
Well, I was hoping he would be more enthusiastic, especially when all the dwarves showed up. It's what his heart desired so much. He may be a Baggins, but he's the bravest Baggins I have ever met.
Yeah. Now, do you know how Bilbo came across his magic ring? I mean, yeah.
I do not know where he got it. I do not know how he got it. But he was lucky and he did find it. I do know it helped the journey get a lot easier than it would have been.
Yes, it definitely did. During this adventure you left and then came back when they needed you most. How did you know when to come back?
Well, I could feel that there was a disturbance. But sometimes I could hear them calling out for help, even just kind of in the back of my mind. I also made sure that I wasn't ever too far away, that I couldn't help the dwarves and the hobbit, sort of like Thorin just mentioned.
Yeah. Did you get any gold for your help?
Oh, yes, I did. I didn't have much of a use for it, though. I just told them to keep it until I found fit to use it for something like a spell.
That's a really good, wise decision.
I can make gold with my wand.
When you do, I'd really like to buy one. That would be super cool. Now,
All right. Thank you for having me. It was been very nice
yes,
at the
it's
corner.
been very nice. Everyone give him a round of applause. Okay, well, thank you for being here. I'll see you. Okay, now, that was the interview with the 3 characters from The Hobbit, and thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed it, and come back next time.